Hi Reddit. I TFF have been dating my boyfriend Jake 19M since we were both 16. Our relationship started out like a dream. We met in high school, and he was everything I could have hoped for in a boyfriend: charming, funny, and genuinely caring. Jake has always been popular, not just with our friends but with everyone at school. It felt like a fairy tale to be with him. In the beginning, everything was perfect. We would spend hours talking, laughing, and making plans for the future. Jake was my first love, and I couldn't imagine my life without him. However, over the past year, I've started to feel like I'm not good enough for him. He never says it outright, but there are subtle hints that make me question myself. It all started with small comments. Jake would compliment other girls in a way that made me feel inadequate. He'd say things like, "She's so smart and driven. I wish you'd be more like her," or "You should try dressing up a bit more like Emily. She always looks so put together." At first, I brushed these comments off, thinking he was just being honest or trying to help me improve myself. But as time went on, they began to chip away at my self-esteem. One incident that really stands out happened a few months ago. We were at a party, and Jake was talking to this girl, Sophia. She's one of those effortlessly beautiful girls who always seems to have it all together. I was feeling a bit out of place, and Jake noticed. He pulled me aside and said, "You should try to be more confident, like Sophia. Guys like girls who can hold their own in a conversation." I felt crushed. It was like he was saying I wasn't enough as I was. Despite these feelings, I've tried to push through. I love Jake, and I want our relationship to work. I've started dressing differently, working harder in school, and trying to be more outgoing. But no matter what I do, it never feels like it's enough. There's always someone better in Jake's eyes. Another time, we were out for dinner, and Jake was scrolling through Instagram. He showed me a picture of a fitness influencer and said, "Look at her dedication. Imagine how great you'd look if you put in that kind of effort." I know he didn't mean to hurt me, but it felt like a slap in the face. I already struggle with body image issues, and his comment just made things worse. Jake is still the sweet, caring guy I fell in love with, but these moments of criticism have become more frequent. He tells me he loves me and that I'm beautiful, but his actions often make me feel otherwise. It's like there's a constant comparison between me and other girls, and I'm always coming up short. A few weeks ago, I decided to talk to him about how I've been feeling. I told him that his comments were hurting me and making me feel like I wasn't good enough. Jake seemed genuinely surprised and apologized. He said he never meant to make me feel that way and promised to be more mindful of his words. For a while, things improved. Jake was more considerate and tried to build me up instead of tearing me down. But recently, the subtle hints have started creeping back in. He'll make offhand comments about my appearance or my grades, and it feels like I'm right back where I started. I've begun to wonder if maybe Jake doesn't even realize the impact of his words. Maybe he thinks he's helping me by pointing out these things. But it's exhausting trying to live up to an impossible standard. I love him, but I'm starting to question if this relationship is healthy for me. Last night was a breaking point. We were watching a movie, and a beautiful actress came on screen. Jake sighed and said, "Why can't you be more like her? She's so confident and talented." I couldn't hold back my tears. It was the final straw. I excused myself and went to my room, crying myself to sleep. This morning, I woke up with a sense of clarity. I realized that I can't keep living like this, constantly feeling inadequate and second-guessing myself. I deserve to be with someone who loves me for who I am, not who they want me to be. I'm scared to confront Jake again, but I know I have to. I need to stand up for myself and my worth. If he can't see my value and continues to make me feel less than, then maybe it's time to move on. I deserve to be happy and confident in my own skin. Thank you for listening, Reddit. Writing this out has helped me organize my thoughts and prepare for the difficult conversation ahead. Any advice or support would be greatly appreciated. Update. Hello Reddit. I'm back with an update, and I'm in need of some serious advice. Since my last post, things have taken a turn for the worse in my relationship with Jake 19M. Despite the promise of improvement, the situation has only gotten more complicated. After our conversation where Jake apologized and promised to be more mindful, there was a brief period where things seemed to be getting better. He was more considerate and attentive, and I felt hopeful, but that hope was short-lived. Over the past few weeks, Jake's subtle criticisms have not only returned but have become more frequent and harder to ignore. It feels like I'm walking on eggshells around him, constantly trying to be perfect and live up to his impossible standards. I'm exhausted, but I still love him deeply and can't imagine my life without him. A few days ago, we went to a friend's birthday party. Everything was going well until Jake started comparing me to one of our friends, Rachel. He mentioned how she had recently gotten a promotion at her job and how dedicated she was. He said, "You should take notes from Rachel. She knows what she wants and goes after it." It felt like a punch to the gut, especially since I've been working hard at my own job and studies. That night, when we got home, I tried to talk to Jake about how his comments were affecting me. He brushed it off, saying I was overreacting and that he was only trying to motivate me. But it doesn't feel like motivation, it feels like constant criticism and a reminder that I'm not good enough. The next incident happened when we were out shopping. I picked out a dress I really liked, but when I showed it to Jake, he frowned and said, "Don't you think it would look better if you lost a few pounds?" I was crushed. I've always had body image issues, and his comment just reinforced my insecurities. Despite all of this, I still love Jake. We have so many good memories together, and when things are good, they're really good. But these moments of happiness are becoming overshadowed by the constant feeling of inadequacy. I feel like I'm losing myself in this relationship, trying to become someone I'm not just to please him. Last night was one of the worst. We were having dinner at his place, and out of nowhere, he started talking about his ex-girlfriend, Emily. He reminisced about how she was always so driven and ambitious, subtly implying that I lacked those qualities. I couldn't hold back my tears. I asked him why he was with me if he felt I was so inadequate. Jake's response was that he loved me and wanted me to be the best version of myself, but his words didn't feel like love. They felt like judgment. I don't know what to do, Reddit. I love Jake, and the thought of breaking up with him terrifies me. I keep hoping things will get better, that he'll see how his words hurt me and change. But I'm starting to wonder if that's just a fantasy. I don't want to lose him, but I'm losing myself in the process. I need advice. How do I make him understand how his words are affecting me? Is there any way to salvage this relationship? Or am I just holding on to something that's hurting me more than it's helping? Please, any insights or advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for listening.